I'd like to rank all of the Alien films from worst to best. I apologize for the sound of my voice. I am fighting a cold. So, without further ado, here we go. Number 9 is Alien vs. Predator Requiem. Alien vs. Predator Requiem is probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I think that it's god awful. It's got very weak characters, and you can't see anything that's going on. It mostly takes place at night, and all of the night scenes are blurry as shit. You can't really see anything. You're not invested in any of the characters. There's no payoff to this movie. Everything is dull. Everything is predictable. Even though there's like this hybrid of an alien and predator like mixed together, which could have been a cool idea, but I think that they wasted this concept in the second film. I just think that this movie is all over the place, and it's probably the worst alien predator thing out there. Number 8 is Alien Resurrection. It's not far from Alien vs. Predator on how bad this movie is, because Alien Resurrection has awful characters, just a terrible screenplay, and it barely makes any sense. The one good saving grace that I can say about Alien Resurrection is that it's got a great underwater sequence, which is very exciting, and it's just feels different than the rest of the film. This sequence got life into it, and we care about what's gonna happen to these characters, even though we don't like these characters overall. It's just a wasted screenplay, and my god, bringing Ripley back from the dead, like cloning her, was such a terrible idea. And you could have just made somebody else the heroine here, because Ripley's story was done in the third film. This entire fourth film is absolutely god-awful. Number 7 is Alien v Predator. Alien v Predator, I think, has a few pros. It has a lot of cons as well. I think that it's an entertaining film. It would have benefited for the movie to be rated R. Absolutely. I think that if this movie had been rated R instead of PG-13, it would have been actually better. And I think that the story here is serviceable. I like that they find a pyramid under Antarctica, and some scientists go there, and then they find alien versus predators. And I think that the movie is well shot. It's actually well made, even though we got a director that usually doesn't make a lot of good films. I think that Alien v Predator has some entertaining aspects to it. It's got an underwhelming finale, I could say. It doesn't have this great ending, but I think that it's an entertaining film, and it's an okay watch. They're not canon anymore. The AVP movies aren't canon because like it breaks the Alien Covenant and the Alien Prometheus lore. Number 6, Alien 3. Alien 3, I think, is okay. I think that it's a serviceable third film, if I could call it that. I think that it's got a lot of problems, a lot of story flaws, and it doesn't really end the trilogy well, in my opinion. But the movie has entertaining action sequences. The movie has Ripley being a badass, and I think that the prison setting is pretty good. It's pretty entertaining, even though, like, we have no guns. The prisoners have no guns to defend themselves against an alien creature, which I think is just a dumb story idea. It's just a studio pandering to the demands of the action star, which was Sigourney Weaver, who is very anti-gun, and she recently made statements on how she wasn't really too happy with the character using guns in the second Alien film. So I think this movie is a mess. It's not very good, but I think that it does have some redeeming qualities. I much prefer it than Alien Resurrection, so there's that. Number 5, Alien Covenant. Alien Covenant, I was super stoked for. I'm really a big fan of Prometheus. I know that it has some flaws, but I'm a big fan of that movie, so I was really excited going into Covenant. And the movie sort of let me down. I thought that the characters were sort of bland, and a lot of them did stupid stuff, kind of like in Prometheus. I like the scenery of the film. I like how the cinematography looked, and I liked some of the action scenes. But overall, I think as a package, Alien Covenant really disappointed me. It sort of follows the story of Prometheus, but it abandons a lot of the story that was set up in Prometheus. It goes both ways. It sort of doesn't know what it wants to be, and I was sort of disappointed that it abandoned a lot of story ideas, a lot of story concepts that Prometheus set up. Kind of like Shaw. I just love her character, but she's never seen really again, which really pissed me off here. And I just don't understand some of the story decisions in this film. Like, James Franco is in this movie, but he's seen for like a couple of seconds. It just doesn't make any sense. I like the crew, some of the members of the crew, but I don't like all of them, and I'm just not really sad when they're getting picked off one by one, which is kind of a problem here. I think that it's one of the biggest problems of Alien Covenant. Number 4 is Prometheus. Now, Prometheus, I'm a big fan of. I'm a fan of this movie a lot more than some people are. I think that introduces a lot of cool concepts. I like that, and these scientists are searching for our creators, and then they find out that these creators, they just want to wipe us out, and that's how the alien xenomorphs came to be. Like the ending scene of the movie, there's a xenomorph that just pops out of the engineer's chest. And I think that this movie is just really a cool creature future. It's got really interesting concept. And like I said previously, I know that a lot of characters do stupid decisions. I feel like the script could have used a few rewrites. And I feel like this new movie desperately needed a sequel. It needed more stuff to be explained, because there's a bunch of things that aren't explained here. So I'm a fan of Prometheus. I really like the way it looks. I love the music, and I love Evelyn Shaw as a character. I think that she was by far the best part. Yumi Rapace is just a fantastic actress, and she was great here in Prometheus. Number 3 is Alien Romulus. Alien Romulus is currently in theaters, and I was blown away by it. I thought that it was such a good alien film. It's got almost everything that you could want out of this series. Like, for people complaining about this movie, I really don't understand what you want out of an alien movie anymore, because I think that this movie has pretty much everything. And I know it's got a lot of fan service, maybe a little too much at times, but overall I think this movie was really damn entertaining. I like the characters, I like the setting, I like the xenomorphs. I thought that it had great xenomorph action, and I was satisfied with the ending. I really enjoyed Alien Romulus, and screw the haters. I think that this is a damn good film, and I really want a part 2 of this movie. Number 2 is Aliens. Aliens, directed by James Cameron, and this is more of an action film than a horror film, and I think that James Cameron directs the hell out of this movie. I think that he was the right person to direct this film, and it's such an action-packed film. It's such a great, entertaining movie. I love so many scenes in this film. I love the character of Hicks and Newt. I think that they're both great characters, and I'm so sad when they're killed off at the beginning of Alien 3. But just the entire film and the finale of this movie is so exciting. We got Ripley facing off with the alien queen. We got the iconic line, "Get away from her, you bitch," which is reused in Alien Romulus. But overall, it's just a fantastic film. Number 1, like you can guess it, it is the first Alien movie that came out in 1979 by Ridley Scott. I think that this movie really kicked off the entire franchise in a superb way. I think that this movie is terrifying. It's got great practical effects. It's got fantastic characters. And I just love everything about it. I think that it's really a creepy movie. I love the xenomorph design. I thought that this was superbly original too, like for its time. I mean, I bet the audiences were like really terrified watching this movie, because it's a really scary film. It's got great atmosphere. And I love that we don't really know who is the survivor here at the beginning of the film. We sort of start realizing that it's Ripley near the second act of the movie, but at the beginning we just don't really know who we're following. We're just following this crew that's in this desperate situation, and we soon realize that the main character is Ripley, and that is really a great way to do an original screenplay. Like, you don't really know who you're following until like the second act of the film. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the Alien films. That's how I would rank them. But overall, I'm a fan of the Alien franchise. I think that it's a really good franchise, and I would like to see more in the future. So please let me know what your ranking is down in the comments below. Please like, subscribe, and see you next time. Peace.